So Keith's a newish volunteer with Kivo-Ebiz, and Claire has had quite a bit of experience already. So we're just going through with Keith what the procedure is for when an item comes in to be sold, of everything that he needs to do really from start to finish. So we're assuming that somebody's brought something into the trust. Obviously there's other issues that we need to talk about if you're going out to somebody's home. But for example, the drill, there's some fairly obvious things that you'd think of probably that you need to look at with this. One of them obviously that it's working. We do pat test things as well. We have things pat tested. You don't have to, I believe you don't have to have things officially pat tested on eBay, but we do just check that batteries are working or that the electric's working, or in this case we've charged up the battery on it. Can you think of anything else, Claire? You can. You'd have to measure it.
You'd have to measure it, get the dimensions of it, find out how much it weighs before you're sending it through the post.
Yeah, because you want to put the packaging price on.
And how would you value it?
Sometimes the person who's brought it in might say to you, well, I want this minimum price for it. But more often than not, they'll say, oh, I'll leave it to your judgment. We know you'll get the best price for us. So what we then do is we look on past items. So we've got the make of it, we've got the name of it, we've got the, quite often the serial number. So we'll look on eBay for things that are sold in the past. And get a good average of what they've sold for. Yeah. And usually we sell it for more than others, don't we?
Yeah,
we've found that we usually get about 20% more. Yeah. It's actually recorded on eBay that we are a charity. It's got the blue ribbon on it. So, if all of the things are equal, people will prefer to buy from us, won't they? So you'll take some photographs of it, you've measured it, you'll have a look at past listings, and sometimes you can get some really good, you can't copy it, but sometimes you can get some really good
pictures and things and go to...
An ideal tip is to look for the thing that's sold at the highest price.
Yeah.
And then you say to yourself, well, why have they got such a good price for it? Somebody else has only got £5 for it, they've got 20.
So have a look at the listing.
Yeah, have a look at that.
So do you check the price of it from you? Or are you interested in that?
Yeah, sometimes, because then you can say retail recommended price is this, so they know how much they're saving by not paying the new price. Obviously, you look very, very carefully for any faults. It's very important that you don't give a false impression. If there's any damage or any marks, you particularly photograph that.
Yeah.
So they know exactly what they're getting. There's nothing worse than getting a really good price for something and then 3 days later it comes back because they say, oh, you didn't point that out to us.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so anything else you're not sure about?
Yeah. Well, once you've got all that, you've taken your photographs, what's the next step then? How do we get it onto eBay?
You do a listing.
A listing?
I've been doing listings this morning, you log yourself in. And all the details that you've found out about it, you'll put them all in and list it and use bright colours and things like that to make yours really attractive and make sure that it stands out, and put all your photographs in and things like that. We load them into another site, a web-based site, so that your photographs are viewable on eBay.
You're booked onto the eBay course, aren't you, level 1? So you'll find out a lot about that when you start on the course.
Yeah. That's how I started.
Yeah, that's how you first came
that's how I started.
Yeah.
Right,
so you can see Clara's got a couple of listings on of some rather exotic items. For example, the chaise lounge, which is a genuine antique. Obviously, that's not something that's brought here. You're going out to somebody's house and obviously you'll have you've already agreed you'll have your CRB check. And it's all about treating those with respect, but also you find out so many other things, as we've said earlier, that when you get there, usually everybody's really glad to see you, but you always end up in a conversation about other things that are done at the trust, because there's all sorts of other things that they can access. So we're selling a rather grand chaise lounge there, and you know, who would believe in the attics of Kiverton, a Clarice Cliff vase, which has that got another 2 days to go?
I think so, yeah.
And it's already got £255. In fact, we're going to pick that up this afternoon, so that we can package it.
So once an item's listed, how long is it listed for?
It depends
Do you
when
have a
we're
choice?
listing it. Yeah, you can list them for 7 days or 10 days. We tend to start it off so that it finishes on a Sunday. Then we can process things on Monday.
Yeah.
So what's the next process?
The time when everybody bids on eBay is about 8:30 is optimum time of the week on Sunday night. So you try and time it to end then. But obviously you can't sit listing about 40 things 7 days before that exact moment. So you can actually schedule them as well, so that they start at the time you want them to start at and finish at the time you want them to finish at.
So when it's finished listing and you've got a bid, what happens then?
Well, if it's here, we'll package it. We'll check the address it's going to. We'll wait till the payments actually come in. People will pay through PayPal or they'll send a cheque. We'll wait till the payment's cleared. Then we'll package it and send it off. The person that's buying has actually paid for the postage. You've covered the postage in with the advert. If it's still at somebody's house, and especially if it's something that's got to be collected, as that would be, then we'll contact the person we're selling it for, and you know, is it all right to come on such and such a day? So you're a bit of a go-between them and the person coming. I also try and make a point of actually going there when the appointment's arranged for the person to go and collect, because you know, it could be somebody that feels quite vulnerable living on their own. I want to make sure that that's quite often why people are using the service, because they'd be a bit worried about that part of it. So we make sure that we're at the house when somebody comes to collect. We make sure that if it's cash on collection, that they get the money, and watch that process, really supervise that process of them coming to collect. Or we've gone out to collect the items we will do with the jug, to bring it back here, package and post it off.
So such as this drill, you wouldn't actually post that off until the buyer had paid the money into your PayPal account. And that'd be the end of the transaction.
Yeah.
Wow.